Here's to the crazy ones. The misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them, but the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. And while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
In the quest for prominence, the greatest thing a person can do in this world is make something out of nothing. Like the true story of a peasant boy who was told that he would never be amount to nothing, and so he relentlessly strived to prove everyone wrong by going on to becoming the king of hoteliers. And because of his great standards for lavishness, we have now honored this peasant boy in our dictionary by defining his last name as elegance. It is often said that persistence combined with passion is an unstoppable force. And so behind every legacy, like the chronicles of a peasant boy, there's always a great story.
Bonjour monsieur, bienvenue au Ritz.
Ritz, c'est luxe. Ritz, c'est perfection. Le Ritz, c'est un mythe, des fois aussi inaccessible. Et c'est bien, des fois, que ce soit inaccessible.
Oui, c'est extravagant, mais c'est le Ritz.
Nearly over 100 years ago, the son of a herdsman revolutionized the industry of luxury hotels. It was his imagination of brilliance and his extraordinary dreams that created the world's finest luxury hotels.
What makes the Ritz different from other hotels is Ritz is a lifestyle.
Ils sont en train de créer les classiques de demain. Voilà ce qui se passe ici.
The Ritz is world famous, but few people know who created this fairy tale world. His name was CESAR Ritz.
The Ritz is the luxury, is the art, is the quality, right? Which he created that. Everything with the Ritz name, it means is the ultimate luxury. And I'm lucky to be able to own such a great institution, invented, created by a great man like CESAR Ritz.
The legendary Ritz was born in 1850 in the Swiss mountain village of Nidval. He was the 13th youngest child of the Ritz family. As a young boy, he lived a very simple life in a small remote village that climbed from the side of a mountain. And like any other child in the rural community, he occasionally helped his dad with the farm. After graduating from primary school around the age of 12, his family wanted him to be prestigious and educated, and so he was sent to another town to learn French, German, and English. Ritz was not really passionate about going to school, and so by the age of 16, his dad quickly introduced him to the hospitality world by helping him get a job in a dining room hotel. After a few months working as a winemaker, he was terminated from his first job for lacking the style and flair that required him to be a hotelier. Although CESAR Ritz was a hard worker, his bosses didn't really see anything special about him. In fact, he was told by his former boss that he would never be successful in the hospitality industry, and that he should just simply give up on his dreams of becoming a hotelier. But CESAR Ritz was not really your ordinary guy. Instead of being discouraged by failure, he quickly dusted himself up and continued to find another job as a waiter. Eventually, though, his new job would be short-lived again, but like all great visionaries, that didn't stop him from chasing his dreams of becoming a hotelier. The burning desire in his heart and the fascination of adventure lured him into a new world. CESAR Ritz always said that his life never began until he moved to Paris.
In 1867, Ritz traveled to Paris, where he worked in a hotel polishing floors and shining shoes. He got a job as a waiter at the Voisin, then the finest restaurant in the city. Ritz continued to hone his skills while working as a maître d'hôtel at the Hotel Splendide in Paris, and from 1877 to 1887, managing such plus resorts as the Grand Hotel National in Lucerne and the Grand Hotel in Monte Carlo. While at the latter, he became friends with famed chef Auguste Escoffier, and they combined efforts to design a hotel that will offer deluxe service to a fashionable society while stressing comfort and fine cuisine. Something of a health fanatic, Ritz insisted that each of his hotel rooms will have a private bathroom. They opened up a restaurant in Baden-Baden in 1887, which caught the attention of Richard de Olady-Garté, who installed Ritz as manager in 1889 of the newly Savoy Hotel in London. Within a few months, Ritz and Escoffier had conquered London from the Savoy. Noticing that in England, unlike in the continent, people tended to fall asleep while eating, he introduced orchestras at dinner. With music, they lingered over dinner and spent extra money on wine. The observant Ritz noticed that Americans like ice water with their meals and made sure that they got it without having to ask. He's also credited with getting American guests to take red wine with meals and serve the first order of frogs legs to the Prince of Wales, later King Edward VII. When the prince inquired to the nature of the dish, Ritz smoothly replied, "Your Royal Highness, you have been the first Englishman to eat frog's legs." Ritz and Escoffier opened the Hotel Ritz at Place Vendôme in Paris, June 1st, 1898, followed by the Hotel Carlton, London, this next year. He expanded his hotel empire in 1906 with a London Ritz. In 1902, though, Ritz had a nervous breakdown. He would spend the remainder of his life confined to sanitariums. He later became moody, spending days in complete apathy and then exploding in sporadic fits of anger. Marie-Louise isolated him from public view after he began shouting and hurling ashtrays at guests. He spent days writing pages of gibberish, which he told his wife were his memoirs. By the time of his death in 1918, there were Ritz-Carlton hotels in New York City, Rome, Madrid, and Montreal.
The history of the Ritz-Carlton Hotel Company originates with the Ritz-Carlton Boston. The standard of service, dining, and facilities of the Boston landmark serve as a benchmark for all Ritz-Carlton hotels and resorts worldwide. The legacy of the Ritz-Carlton Boston begins with the celebrated hotelier CESAR Ritz, the king of hoteliers and the hotelier of kings. His philosophy of service and innovations redefined the luxury hotel experience in Europe throughout his management of the Ritz Paris and the Carlton in London. CESAR Ritz died in 1918, but his wife Marie continued the expansion of the hotels bearing his name. In the United States, the Ritz-Carlton Investing Company was first established in 1927 by Albert Keller, who bought and franchised the name. In the same year, the Ritz-Carlton Boston opened and other hotels followed in New York, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Atlantic City, and Boca Raton. The Ritz legacy endured with Charles Ritz, son of CESAR Ritz, who was an active board member of the Ritz-Carlton until his death in 1977. In 1983, the hotel and its rights were sold to William B. Johnson, who established the Ritz-Carlton Hotel Company.
His tradition of luxury, excellence, and service in the hospitality industry set the standard for hotels and restaurants worldwide. And today, the philosophy and tradition of CESAR Ritz lives on at a hotel management college in Switzerland. The CESAR Ritz Colleges in Switzerland is one of the world's leading hospitality educational establishments. It was named after the father of modern hotels and the founder of Ritz-Carlton Group.
I work in a Norwegian publishing house. We do mostly magazines, about 30 titles.
I'm working for the airline business, United Airlines.
I'm currently working for Best Western Hotel in Sofia.
Build a social network while you're here, because that's what gives you safety.
I run my family business. We have 2 hotels in Sicily, on the north coast of Sicily.
Well, I'm currently general manager of 5-star property in Argentina.
I can go wherever in the world I want, and I'll have someone I know there, or someone from CESAR Ritz who will be able to help me.
First of all, we really recognise the importance of professional skills. Many schools don't spend so much time now preparing students for the professional skills. We do. We have top-class teachers in that area, we have great facilities, and we make sure the students can actually do the job and that they're credible when they go to their first in-training or to their first job. Very, very important. CESAR Ritz is all about combining theory and practice, and the IP is the culmination, if you like, of the whole process that combines theory and practice, and it's very different to the kind of project you would find in many other schools. I think we do a really good job, because what we do is we prepare the students for their first job by giving them all the professional skills, everything they need to know to get that first job, but we also prepare them for their future career. We give them academic skills and we give them professional skills, we give them a good attitude, I think, and we help them develop their whole personality so they're going to be successful human beings as well as successful managers.